I call Keith Locke.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I think this debate, it's hard to call it a debate because everyone's going in the same direction, it's shown that we all have a connection to Christchurch. This just wasn't a Christchurch event, it was one that has affected just about everyone in New Zealand, and I think that's come out of the speeches, Marion's street speech just before about being in Christchurch, and Charles Chauvel's speech about relations in Christchurch, Alan Peachy's about the time he spent in Christchurch. I think everyone's connected in some way with friends or relations in that city. That's why it is such a difficult and emotional issue for us. I myself spent the first 22 years of my life in Christchurch and have relations there who've suffered in the earthquake, a sister and a sister-in-law in particular, and brother-in-law and family. And also, I think it's the physical damage too, and that's why the debate around heritage and what will be reconstructed is so important, that the identity of the city is to a significant extent around the buildings, the physical nature of the built nature of the city, and also the environment. I was brought up next to the Avon River in what's now known as the Avon Loop, and I went back there a week ago, and the riverbank I used to play on is now much wider as a result of the lateral spread. The river's come up, the river's narrowed, there's big metre-wide cracks, etc., etc., and that is, it makes one feel very sad. No doubt we'll get over that. It's more the people and the effect on the people that we're most worried about. And just to give you a feeling of that, I thought I would read a piece from a friend of mine, Pam Vickers, who lives on Clifton Hill next to Sumner, and this is her experiences, I think, very well put. The gossip round the water cooler at the office has been exchanged for gossip at the water tanker, as we queue up with our plastic bottles for what we are most short of, water. Who has left town with who? Who is sleeping in a tent? Who is sleeping in the garage? Few people here, along with Littleton, the worst affected part of the city, want to sleep in the house if they can avoid it. Water is heavy, and I haven't quite got the knack of balancing on my head, but I am certainly adept at carrying 3 large, very large water bottles, one in each hand and a third in between, supported by both sets of fingertips. Everything looks grey, the colour of liquefied earth squeezed out of the ground like toothpaste by the earthquake. It has been shoveled into piles by our fantastic student army, but it has dried in the heat, and the dust is picked up and blown around by the strong northwesterly winds, covering everything. The fruit on the trees no longer has an autumn ripeness, but is also the colour of grey. This greyness is punctuated by the odd moment of colourful humour, usually about the way we are getting rid of human waste. Drains and sewers are broken, so gardens are invaluable now. And the aftershocks keep coming. Someone in England asked me, do they feel like little electric shocks? No, they damn well do not. They are small earthquakes that follow the big one. They throw our stomachs into our throats, and in a split second I am taken back to where I was when the big one hit. The Cathedral Cafe, ground zero for all the destruction. I felt it coming down and screamed to everyone to get down. The events from there are still too cruel and too raw to talk about. The aftershocks still shake rubble from our homes and have a noise and movement under our feet that confirm that there is no such thing as terra firma. Our nerves are frayed, our sleep disrupted, our tempers frazzled, and we live on a diet of all-day earthquake news and another tin of cold food. Thank goodness we had a rehearsal with the 4 September quake. Otherwise, I don't think we would be doing as well as we are. Did I really say that? This one was big, and it was as though we had been hit by an atomic bomb. With our landmarks no longer there, it was hard to recognise Sumner or Christchurch in the first days after the earthquake. Is this really our home? Going up the road, coming home from the water tanker, we cross crevices in a domestic car that might challenge an all-terrain vehicle. Road cones, danger tape and yellow paint mark the cracks, humps and road edges where the cliff has fallen away. You need nerves of steel to navigate it, waiting for another aftershock to drop you into a hole or to sludge a boulder to land on your head. It's like a war zone. We find ourselves doing strange things. I stand in the middle of a room piled high with debris and pick up a screw. I look at it for a long period wondering, what is this of? It is as though in this heap of damaged possessions I will ever find where it belongs. It is all headed for the dustbin. I talk to my neighbour, who says she has spent 10 minutes just looking at a butterfly when she should be tidying up. Life seems unreal, and time seems to unravel. We keep telling ourselves, time will put this right. With time, the aftershocks will lessen. With time, power and water and sewerage will be restored. With time, our roads will be repaired. With time, our houses will be rebuilt. With time. But at the moment, time goes slowly. Time brings us pain and anguish, and fear that we may not have the strength to get through this. Time brings despair, because all that we have built up has gone and our future is in jeopardy. So that's from Pam Vickers. Last night her power did come on, but she's still without water and sewage like many people in the city of Christchurch. There's still a lot more to do to help people in the east of Christchurch. Teams are still going door to door, helping the people. The Green Party has a team going around most days or every day. Kennedy Graham is down in Christchurch leading that work. And I think that we have to remember as we prepare for this memorial service that it is going to be a combination of effort, voluntary effort as the students and the farmers are engaged in, and all kinds of other organisations, church organisations, community organisations, the official response through civil defence and all its various parts, and all of the citizens of Christchurch in their own particular way helping and working together. It's going to take a while to recover, but we can't slacken our efforts right now. Thank you.